Some people always talk about never getting hangovers when they're young. When I was younger, I used to get ferocious hangovers, like physically painful hangovers, where I would be like getting sick the next day and all sorts. But as I get older, into like my 30s, it's a little bit like different. Like I actually find like my body can tolerate alcohol a little bit better on one level. Like there's way less vomiting, there's way less really bad blasting headaches and so on. But there's like an emotional component to it that wasn't really there when I was younger. And I'm not sure if that's just something that happens when you get older. You get a bit more shame about these things, like a societal condition, or if it's just like you have more stresses and strains, or just wear and tear on the body or the psyche. I don't know, because it's funny because the body seems to carry it better for me, but the emotional side of it, the mental side of it, that seems to go downhill. And another thing that it's true what they say is the healthier you are, the more fucked up on alcohol you get. Like if you've drank the day before like heavily and you go to drink again the second time the next day, chances are you're going to get like no hangover after drinking the second day, but after the first day you'll be in bits for the whole day. So it's funny, there's some sort of thing in your body that gets shocked by it when it hits it out of the blue, but then when it is used to it, it doesn't seem to take the same effects. But overall, the thing with alcohol is it's something of a very honest kind of drug. I don't really like calling it a drug, but it's an honest sort of, in the sense that, you know, you're kind of over it after a day for the most part. It's not like another drug like Coke or something where it kind of, once it's in your system, it can be a fucking like week before you start to feel right after it. That's why it kind of brings me to the point of what I'm trying to say here, which is that, you know, honestly, like alcohol as things go is not a bad thing for the human race whatsoever. Like some people, okay, they can't tolerate it that well, and if you're someone who has like an addictive problem and you just throw the baby out with the bathwater, you know, you have to make a grown-up decision about that. You know, and naturally if people are busy with kids and stuff, there's less scope maybe for drinking alcohol. But definitely, like, as someone who's kind of had periods sober, had more periods drinking, kind of came up in an era where there's a lot of drinking. I came up in a scene like between the ages of like 16 and 30. I could have had my pick of like a party to go to like every weekend, and that kind of, the tap on that turned off a little bit. And when that turns off and, you know, you start to see less people, it can kind of hurt a little bit. You get to feel a bit lonelier, your circle kind of gets smaller, you know. But anyway, I've done both, and like for sure I've often felt a lot like sharper and more in flow with my life when I'm doing a little bit of drinking, even if that's like once a week, 4 or 5 beers. I think it kind of just slaps your physiology, puts you back a step, and then gives you the incentive to go a few more steps forward. If you're living life sober all the time, you lock into this kind of grey flow where it's hard to get a sense of things, hard to know where you stand almost. It's a good like palate cleanser in that regard, but also it's like you definitely don't have the same social fun you do sober as you do with a couple of drinks. And I'm not talking about like getting loaded or anything, you know, but like if you fucking meeting a friend for a couple of pints, you know, if you do that with drinking or without drinking, the time with drinking is always way better. And anyone who says that they like have as good a time, it's like, okay, then why did you leave at 10:30 and everyone else fucking stay till 1 o'clock? So maybe even stay till fucking like 5 or something, you know. It just goes to show there's a kind of nonsense element about it. There's a cope that goes into sobriety. The thing about sobriety is it's great and you get balance and it's a path to steady success, but you sacrifice a lot of the immediate fun, a lot of the immediate gratification. You even sacrifice a lot of the long-term gratification, because to be honest, like, the way I learned how to celebrate anything or take a pause and enjoy life was through the guise of alcohol. And it's a fucking great way to do it. It's cheap. It kind of releases you a little bit. It's rejoicing. There's a huge, you know, it's been around as a means of fucking celebrating for millennia. It's perfect. It's perfect social lubricant, perfect thing to mark an occasion, perfect way to do it in any regard, you know. And that's brilliant. So great we have that. So great we have something that can kind of alter our mind, alter our perception, kind of holistically and in a way that's tried and tested, and that for the vast majority of people works well, you know. There's like probably, there is a percentage of people who can't tolerate it, or who at some point in their lives start to not tolerate it, having had a great 15 years. And I don't mean to do the tired, you know, these kind of AA people are annoying, because I think AA is cool. But, you know, it's like, the trend now with like young people I'm seeing is to drink way less alcohol. It seems to be on the down a lot, but what is it being replaced with? You know, all these kind of drugs, these new, like drugs are something that's really exploded over the years. It used to be like your drugs even, you had maybe like, oh my God, you know, like lots of different drugs. I'm thinking of like claviculars, fucking Pentastack and all, and that shit's way less tried and tested, way less good stuff to do with that. Looks way less fun. And you know, you gotta think at a certain point, like, where's the trade-off here? Fucking have a few beers. You know what's gonna happen, you're gonna have a good time. You can control it, you can be a bit less, like, loose with it. And get out of the house, talk to people, dance a bit, you know what I mean? Socialise, whatever you enjoy doing. Drinking gives you access to that in a really nice kind of way. And there's a reason people have been doing it forever. And there's a reason a lot of weird shit is creeping up in recent years. The rise of smartphones and all this new technology and all these new like replacement drugs and such. So yeah, you know, fucking if you're young, get out drinking. You don't quit drinking until you fucking at least like met your partner or something. Because I mean, how else are you going to meet someone really that isn't any way well adjusted or a normal person? It's only so many like people who go rock climbing, you know, you can really meet in this world. But anyway, that's my little thing. I'm out, so I'm a bit rusty, fucking coming back from exams, but we'll catch you next time.